Welcome to More with Miller, where we recap our travels, share planning behind our adventures, and just dive into everyday lifestyle moments with some mayhem as only we can do it. So, whether we're on the road, at home, or figuring things out as we go, you'll get the real, unfiltered moments. So, thanks for being here. And there's always more with Miller. Today, we are heading to Tokyo, Japan. So our morning started out pretty early, about 3 a.m., as we headed over to Indianapolis International Airport. And if you did not know, our airport has been voted one of the best in the world. So that's kind of pretty cool, right? Um, yeah, so heading over at about 3 to TSA, and it was really busy for this time of day. So I was very surprised to see that. This is the TSA line, which was a little long for me because I have TSA pre-check, but one of us does not. This is why we do TSA pre-check, so we don't have to wait in this line.
He's recording me.
Took us about 30 minutes to get through TSA, and now we're headed on to our first flight, which is Indianapolis to DFW, or Dallas Fort Worth Airport. This flight, I think, is just under 2 hours, and that's where we will catch our connecting flight over to Haneda. So I love sitting by the window so I can see all of the great sights. Got my camera out, wheels up, favorite moment. And then all of a sudden, I look over and I see this. All right, we landed at DFW. Now it's time to deplane because we landed at Terminal A and we've got to get to Terminal D. So we grab a shuttle or monorail. What is it called? I think shuttle. I don't know. I'm going to call it a monorail. And we're hopping over to Terminal D. Then all of a sudden, I get an alert on my phone that no, it's not Terminal D, but you got to go back to Terminal A. So back on the shuttle we go. Then I look over, and suddenly my husband's Mr. Social. Now, I don't know about you, but this guy does not talk to anybody. So he's chatting it up on the shuttle. We're killing time until it's time to board over to Tokyo, and this is what our plane is looking like. It's a completely full flight, and the line to get on is crazy. Okay, finally boarding and amped up because, of course, we're going to Tokyo. I have never been on a flight this long. This flight is just under, I believe, 13 hours. So we're just waiting to get on this huge plane that's completely sold out. And this is our seat and our view. Kind of a little preview of what's to come. It's raining and it's gross. And I was really worried because a lot of flights were getting canceled around the area. And so I was hoping we wouldn't get delayed or get canceled or get stuck in Dallas. But no, we were actually able to take off. Now, the Dallas airport, if you've never been there, has like the longest runways ever. So we were taxiing for quite a bit until we actually got to take off. But it was fun to hear the flight instructions in both English and Japanese. Here's a preview of what our flight is going to look like and time to land and all of those great things. So it looks really cool and fast on the screen, but while you're in the air, not quite so much. And my favorite part again, wheels up. I was really excited. They gave us free headphones. I look over and it's this again. I don't know how he fell asleep so fast. All right, so then they feed us a meal and then a snack. And I don't know if it's dinner or if it's lunch. It's really weird. And when you look outside, the colors of the sky are really weird. Then all of a sudden, they dimmed the cabin and made us go to bed. 13 hours later, lights are back on, and finally, we can see we are landing in Tokyo. I'm so excited. Now, I'm a little worn out because we had a tour group on our plane that walked around and talked the whole time. No joke. Okay, so now we're in the customs line, which is absolutely crazy. You could either fill out a card, a disembarkation card on the plane or in the line, or do everything online and get a QR code, which we did. I'm so glad that we did. So finally through customs, where you go through passport checking and all that good stuff. And we're so excited. And I got to see my first bidet. Woo! Now withdrawing cash at the ATM at the airport, which has a great conversion rate, and off to our Uber. We had the best Uber driver, you guys, who was so kind. He didn't speak a lot of English, but he used Google Translate to talk to us. And then my husband got to practice Japanese talking to him. Now, he did ask us if we were going to have a Japanese baby, which was hilarious.
Shigoto Zuto?
Shigoto. Me today?
Hi.
Today, tomorrow lunch.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow lunch.
Okay.
はい、12時まで。
So about 30 minutes later, we arrive at our hotel, and our amazing Uber driver helped us unload everything and get started. And we are at the Tokyo Stay, which has done a partnership with an anime. So you got to see a lot of anime touches throughout the hotel, in the elevator and the stairs and all of that. So here's our amazing room, and let's take a quick tour of what's inside. Now, one thing unique about Japanese hotels is that you have to leave your key card in a slot by the door in order for the lights to work. Super excited to have a washer dryer because laundry is my jam, if you don't know. And this was a pretty decent sized room. If you look at other videos for Japan, I mean, there's of course all kinds of sizes, but things are a little smaller than we're used to in the US. But this was actually perfect for the two of us. Sunday night at this point, we've put our luggage away and we are going to go out and explore a little bit. This is the cute sign of our floor showing the rooms and which direction everything was. So we're going to head out into the cute elevator. Again, I don't watch anime, so if you know what this anime is, let me know if it's one that I should watch. I'd be excited to give it a try. We were excited to start exploring and see some night shots photography-wise. So making sure all our equipment is ready to go. And the great thing about Japan is that Google Maps will take you anywhere you want to go. Now, this is a cute thing in town. You can rent one of these cars and go driving around. And everything is very Mario themed. I would never do that. Would you guys? Okay, so continuing our walk throughout the night, it's so pretty, it's so peaceful. It had rained, but everything was really beautiful and bright. Just exploring, we were headed over to Starbucks Tokyo Roastery. That was on my bucket list of things to do. They have a great stationery partnership with Traveler's Notebook Company, which is huge for me. So I wanted to go over and shop in person. And it was just a beautiful site to explore. It was about 8:30 p.m., I believe, around this time. Again, the streets were very peaceful and calm. And look at this building. Oh my gosh. This is a Starbucks. A Starbucks. So I headed in there, took some pictures, of course, and then video of some of the things we saw. If you are a stationary girl or guy, this would be your jam. I freaked out. I fangirled. I wanted to buy one of everything. I got a few things, but not really everything. So if you don't know, the cool thing about these notebooks is that they're embossed with Starbucks roastery on them, which of course you can only get at the Starbucks location. There were a lot of other cool regional things that you could find, like stickers and notebooks that were very unique to the area that you can't find in the United States. So I was excited.
れさっきのとこですね。トラベラーズカンファ。ここだ。なんかじゃああれなのかな。
This is where you could check out and buy specialty bags of coffee or, of course, the stationery supplies. And we learned very quickly that they don't like lines in Japan. So, like, if you're standing and there's like those people were in line, they directed us to stand to the side. We went over and grabbed a cup of coffee as well. So, these were some of the cool things, just the coasters. I got a chocolate croissant and a coffee. They give you the card of the coffee that you have. That's the bag of the goodies I got. You guys can see later. And then this is just some of the scenery in the building. There were 5 floors. We went to each of the floors. There was a floor that focused on just the Tivana line. There was the coffee line. There was a bakery where you could buy baked goods in addition to purchasing coffee and hanging out for a little bit. There was a floor where it almost looked like a nightclub area where people were hanging out. The music was amazing. There was artwork. Just so much to see. So then after that, we headed back out on the town because we had to get back to our hotel, of course. And we just took in some of the sights. And yes, there was a Denny's there. This was a car going into an elevator. Totally freaked me out. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Walking some of the signage, 317 for Indiana area code. Took a picture of that, of course. And then we decided to head over to Shibuya Crossing. Now, this is Sunday night. It's about 10:30, and the streets are still really busy. I thought maybe we would shut it down for the night, kind of like back home, like going to bed, getting ready for work, but the streets were bustling. So a lot of traffic, there's a 50 lane. I thought that was kind of cool. And we're headed down to Shibuya, as I said. So just taking in some of the sights, looking at some of the things that are around. So much to take in as you're trying to, kind of walk, looking at your phone and take pictures and video. And this is my hubby with his camera out. There's a 7-Eleven. We'll get more into those in one of our other videos because they are just amazing. And just more night stuff to see. Like clubs were opening and they had people out on the street promoting clubs. So if you were looking for something to do, it gave me very New York vibes of things always to do. So Shibuya Scramble Square. And there it is. The Shibuya Scramble Crossing, which you see in a lot of movies and a lot of shows. We had just seen it in a show that we watched called Alice in Borderland. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. But just crossing, and it was insane watching people across the street that live there because they were very purposeful in their crossing. And then there were a lot of tourists that would just stop in the middle and take pictures or do videos or run across the street so their friends crossing could take videos of them. And it's just like, get across the street. But of course, I had to stop in the middle and take a picture as well. This was in Shibuya Crossing, again, giving me very New York vibes where you're just like, oh, okay. Yeah, and a lot of things in Japan happen at night. So like their construction and cleaning and those types of things because the cities are so busy during the day. So you'll see a lot of cleaning, construction, those types of things happening. More Shibuya Crossing footage. Look, there's a guy just taking his video. And we're all just kind of enamored, I think, by this site. So for our first night, we just landed, we got to our hotel, we're settling in, and just to head out and see this, there's a huge Starbucks that's you usually see in movies when you think of this area. So just really excited to be in the city and be kind of in the culture for our first night, exploring, looking at traffic. It's so weird seeing everybody drive, of course, on to me, the wrong side of the car. There's, a little bit of rain. Everybody there has clear umbrellas. There were these awesome cars on the street. And, my husband's a photographer. So we had to stop and look at some of the cars. I mean, you can see like the light up wheels and all the bells and whistles that people take a lot of pride in their cars. So they were just like parked on this one street. They did, I don't think it was street racing, but they kind of took off and we're all journeying about. So we got to observe some of that as we were out on the first night. Some close-up views of these cars. I mean, amazing cars, just that I wouldn't think to be in the middle of the city area. So then we went down into some of the smaller side streets in the Shibuya area, and there were so many things going on. There were people dressed up to go out. We went to Don Quixote for the first time, and if you don't know, you're going to know before the end of our journeys because we went there, I think, every day. There were so many floors in this store, and every floor had everything. I mean, from skincare to food to luggage to souvenirs. Anything you could possibly want was in Don Quixote, or Donkey as it's known. So Heading out of Donkey, heading back to the hotel and back out into the busyness of Tokyo. This was an area that we had to cut through to get back to our hotel. During the day, we found we could go one way through the area, but at night, with the stations closing, we had to kind of go through a different way. Thanks for staying tuned to the end. Comment a heart if you made it this far. And what should we post next? Our trip to Disney Sea or to Shibuya Sky? We'll see you next time on More with Miller.